celebrating, sharing, basically celebrating like news that are good news ahead, pretty much. So in the future, you will be getting a new tattoo, and it's very significant. So just a quick little tidbit. So I just watched The Matrix, and pretty much it opened my eyes to a lot, especially a lot of the things that are happening now, and what is happening in the future. So how I looked at The Matrix is like when people look at the Old Testament in the Bible, and how, like, you can use it as a guidance, and it opens up your mind to like how things are going to look in the future. So that's how I took it, to where like I'll go to my notes. Yeah, like King of Wands, I moved it out the way, and then King of Wands came up. So definitely a lot of strength in that action that I just took on watching that movie. And it's making me realize, even with King of Cups and to setting boundaries, it's like you have to realize that your goal is to feel respected and to feel safe. Now, when you are within the matrix, which is the nail, that you're living in, is like you have to feel respected and safe. And when you're within the matrix, there's no way to do that if your eyes aren't open. So these are some notes that I have wrote out. So pretty much, I guess this is going to be a reading about with brain food, research, downloads, like whatever you want to call it. Either way, in the movie there was three main characters, like three significant characters that you can apply like to yourself to see where you fall in that bracket. So the three parts or characters in it is like Neo. So Neo is the one. Neo is the one whose eyes were open, and his eyes were initially opened or whatever through a moment. You know what I'm saying? And this moment came from Morpheus, because Morpheus knew like the codes, and that's why the Matrix was trying to like eliminate Neo, and then they were trying to eliminate Neo because they didn't want Neo to, have his eyes open, because he would be able to defeat the system. And Morpheus was pretty much like a father figure, pretty much guiding him through. And then we had the Oracle, which is pretty much a glitch. So the Oracle is the glitch in the movement. You feel me? So once these three come together and share whatever messages they need to share with these downloads and things of that nature, like that causes the resistance. So the resistance is pretty much those that are walking on the path. You feel me? So the Oracle is a guide towards the path. The Oracle shows you the door. You feel me? But you have to walk through the door. So pretty much, with the guy that I don't remember his name, but he was the one that pretty much tried to backdoor them for real. And he was saying like, the difference between the red pill and the blue pill. And he was saying like, I wish I would have took the blue pill. So pretty much he was saying he wished that he wasn't awakened, which caused them to what caused him to pretty much sell them out or whatever. And in the end, he still ended up dying. You feel me? Because he didn't believe. And a lot of people don't end up believing until it's in that last moment where it's like, damn, I should have believed. Dang, it's too late. You feel me? So yeah, so me, I am an Oracle. Like in my path, I'm realizing I'm an Oracle. I'm a guide like towards the path. You feel me? And that's why like when people think about twin flames and stuff, when you find your soulmate and things of that nature, you always call that person the one. When you love someone or whatever, like you're calling them the one. Like that's my one. When it comes to ones in coding, in angel numbers, if you're seeing 1111, you feel me? Like that's guiding you like upon your path. You feel me? So that's why they say oracles. Like if you're an oracle, you pretty much, your partner, your twin flame, that's the one. Your Neo, pretty much. And then your Morpheus that has the knowing codes, that's gonna be the universe. That's gonna be God. That's gonna be your ascended ancestors. That's gonna be your angels. That's gonna be, the Most High. Like that's pretty much bringing it, full circle. So pretty much you're going to be able to get to that point when you set these boundaries. You have to set these boundaries with others and within yourself, because you have to protect yourself from these energies that try to, get you. You know what I'm saying? And then you have to have an authoritative power. You know what I'm saying? You have to be honest. You have to tell the truth. You have to cleanse like your throat chakra. And that's what's gonna bring you to your ascension status pretty much. Like, and with 666, you have to like focus on what actually matters to you. You have to realign that focus, letting go of fear, and having a balance between the material and spiritual. So you can't be too materialistic, but you also can't be so spiritual as to where you're neglecting like the 3D. Yeah, Seven of Swords. So there's pretty much someone that has no trust in something. It's like it's fraudulent type of energy, and that's the Matrix. Like, and even when they were explaining like in the movie when he was like when people are unawakened or whatever, like the little robot men or whatever, they pretty much can manifest themselves on those peoples. And that's what's happening now. Like, what's happening in the now is these demons are body jumping from human to human to try to hold people back. Me personally, I have experienced that. And since I have become awakened and really started walking on my path and living in my purpose, I literally will have these encounters to where it's like, you're possessed. Because it's no way. Like, for example, I could say it's a woman that's in like my leasing office or whatever. So when I went up there to like drop off my rent check, listen, all these cars came out. Yeah, like literally, I'm speaking truth, dog. So either way, I went up there to drop off my rent check, and pretty much she was like, you know, pleasant. You know, I complimented her on her hair. You know, I asked her a few questions about, you know, things that I was concerned about and stuff like that, and she, you know, she was fine or whatever. But fast forward to yesterday, I believe it was yesterday morning, I had called up there, and you know, I was just asking her questions, and honestly, I did not ask her any questions. I was telling her what happened because she wanted to know, who she could transfer me to or whatever. So either way, she was very rude. I can't even lie. Like, she was very, very rude. And then I was like, you know, can I speak with supervisor or something or whatever, you know, because you're honestly not qualified to answer my questions. I didn't even say that. I was just thinking that shit. That's why it made me feel like, bitch, what you in my mind? But I know that like she was just being a dickhead. Either way, like when she was clicking it over, she was like, that's just idiotic. And I was like, you know what? I wasn't gonna say anything. Honestly, I wasn't gonna say anything. And when I actually spoke to the property manager, I let her know, you know, that was not right for us. So the property manager ended up, you know, answering my questions and speaking with me about, you know, what I had initially called for. And she did give me some insights on, you know, what's going on. And when we ended the call, I was saying, like, you know, and I also, you know, want you to really talk to this lady at the front desk because it's too early in the morning for you to, not you, but for her to be in such a low vibration. Like, I did not deserve that. You know what I'm saying? So when I got off the phone, mind you, like, I'm on the phone with this woman and I was on my way to the gym. So literally, I was on my way to the gym or whatever. So as I'm walking, it's like I'm trying to, can't make it up. Like, this person was very immature, like, you know, and I do practice, you know, forgiveness and healing and being at peace with myself and things of that nature. But like, I can't lie, it hurt my feelings. And like, literally, it made me soul search a little bit because I'm like, damn, like, is it something that I'm doing? Is it something in my energy? And I realized, like, I'm not going to blame myself for how another person is treating me because everyone is on their own path. And you have to realize, like, you have to surrender control to like everything, and you can't blame yourself for what somebody else is doing. Literally, you following your personal path, and you got to follow your inner calling. You can't have another person, this is the feedback for y'all, because I know this is significant for someone. Like, you have to just take things as they are, and that is hard. And I'm telling you, it took me years and years and years to get to this point. Okay, people are gonna do what they do, all right? And that does not mean do not stick up for yourself. Continue to stick up for yourself. Continue to speak up for yourself. Be passionate. You know what I'm saying? Say how you feel. If you feel like clapping back, clap the fuck back. You get what I'm saying? Just make sure that you don't do too much. You get what I'm saying? But get your point across. Best believe, get your point across. Cleanse that throat chakra. You know what I'm saying? Because just because, like, everyone is still on a healing journey. There's nobody walking this earth that is completely healed. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of people, it's like they put you on a pedestal and they don't even realize how much of a pedestal they put you on. And you have to realize that you might think that somebody hates you. You might think that somebody dislikes you to where you're like, oh my gosh, like, why are you treating me like this? And you have to think about it in, like, primary school days. You feel me? You got to think about it like that. When people would sit there and pick at you, all because they want attention from you, they are not confident enough, or, you know, don't have enough sense to realize, hey, maybe if I make myself act more pleasant, if I heal myself a little bit more, like, I would be able to get the attention that I want. But no, I'm not willing to do that. So then they choose to just settle for what they can get, which is the negative attention. Sometimes you have to starve people out. You get what I'm saying? But sometimes you do have to let a motherfucker know, like, don't fucking play with me. Period. Face your fears. Somebody definitely needs to face their fears, especially when it comes to self-love. And this being in this Queen of Pentacles energy, like, that's what's gonna help you. Because, like, literally, like, people try to lower your vibration. They're gonna try to do that because they're feeling low. They don't want you to feel positive. They don't want you to feel good. Some people don't want you to smile, and it's because of the anxieties and fears that's within them. Okay? These people are mentally blocked. They're mentally blocked. They're spiritually blocked. You feel me? And that's why they are around nothing but conflicts. And half the times, most of the conflict is happening in their fucking heads, bro. So somebody could be, you know, it could have something to do with someone in the past. Pretty much, like, it's something about the past, you know, like, so somebody's definitely pausing to, like, gain some perspectives when it comes to some type of, like, situation. Either way, like, you know, we got the World card and the Fool card, so definitely somebody's taking a leap of faith when it comes towards something, and this leap of faith is pretty much like you're focusing on your confidence. You feel me? Like, that's what's in the spotlight for you is your confidence. What's in the spotlight for you is loving yourself. You get what I'm saying? Giving to yourself and not worrying about what you're not receiving, because you realize that it's gonna come in. I'm definitely talking to a divine feminine with this. Somebody could be very spiritual. Like, you could have some type of spiritual practice. Either way, we got the Empress and the High Priestess. So definitely a divine feminine that I'm talking to. So you are practicing patience at this time, and, like, you have to pretty much, that's your life. That's your life, is practicing patience. You have to be patient with yourself, and you have to be patient with others. And that's easier said than done, because even me, like, I have issues sometimes with being patient with stuff. Sometimes I be like, God damn. But honestly, like, when I started working out and being more active, going to the gym, it helped me to work out a lot of that frustration, like, and that passion. Like, it has caused me to be more passionate about myself. And this action, this is pure action, okay? You have to take pure action towards being kind, being compassionate, being someone that is, you know, loving. Like, you're showing yourself the same grace and comfort. You're showing yourself that, okay? Having a harmonious relationship with yourself is a victory. Okay, and a lot of people look past that, you know, like, you feel like, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, but you have to think about your relationship with yourself. That's the most important, okay, because that's going to reflect in the now, or in the later, or in the dream state, or, you know what I'm saying, like, that's what's going to happen. Like, you have to have hope. Somebody's spirit team is, like, spiritually guiding them at this time, and they're guiding you to be more creative and to focus more on your creative endeavors. And, you know, whoever I'm talking to is in Queen of Swords energy. You're very self-aware, okay? You're very self-aware, and that's what's going to lead to your abundance, your achievements, you guys. And this is literally your justice, because you broke free from tradition, and you broke free from tradition by truth seeking. You are not afraid to tell the truth. You are not afraid to seek the truth, and you are not afraid to live in your truth, okay? And this caused a lot of slow down progress for those that were trying to infiltrate your energy, okay? Your strength is what kept you through. Yeah, I'm talking to somebody that's a healer. I'm talking to somebody that is a dreamer. Whoever I'm talking to has a very like gentle soul, and it's like your yeah, like your wishes are being fulfilled. Like this is your wish fulfillment for you to be in the space that you are in at this time. You're very optimistic. You're very disciplined. You're really focused on your work at this time, which is really good. Heavy on the achieving balance. You're definitely achieving balance, and you're looking at new perspectives. You're looking at different ways to like look at things for real, and that's causing you to have more confidence in yourself, in the world, in your path. You know what I'm saying? And you're continuing to seek knowledge, and that's really the goal. That's what you're supposed to do. Whoever you are standing in your power, okay? And you're also learning from trial and error, and you're also realizing that just because things are not working out the way that I think they should, like you have to release control, and you can't like be so focused on the outcome. You feel me? And that's why like I have like enjoyed the path, like enjoy your journey, because that's what counts. You feel me? Like in your journey is where you're gonna be enlightened, and you're looking for the signs. If you're not enjoying the journey, you are gonna just find signs that are gonna leave you in lack, leave you down for real. And if you look at the signs from an optimistic viewpoint, because with everything, there's a negative and a positive. Every single thing, there's a negative and a positive. Even when you think of something like fire, you feel me? The positives about fire is that it's light. Okay? It's light. The negatives is that it can burn you. Okay? And when you find a good balance, can't nothing hurt you. Can't nothing hurt you. Like, and that's why you have to look at things like that. You really have to look at things like that. You look at things from both sides, okay? Because there's always a good and there's always a bad. Somebody needs to find some relief from these burdens that you're carrying, okay? Somebody's feeling a little overloaded. Like, you have like a lot on your plate. And this is because you're turning a cycle, dog. You're turning a cycle. And you have to continue to look forward, okay? You continuing to look forward and looking past all these illusions and, really weighing out your options on, if I do this, this will happen. If I do this, this might happen. If I do this, this might happen. Always have an alternative. And that's not being pessimistic. If I go to the left, this may happen. If I go to the right, this may happen. If I go this way, this what may happen. That prepares you, okay? And eventually, you're not gonna always have to be so extra vigilant. But when you are in this space that you are in your journey, you have to consider that, so you're not feeling so let down if things don't work out the way that you expect them to. I can't make it up with this 5 of Wands. This is called learning by experience, okay? And you have to just continue to move forward, and then keep expressing yourself emotionally, okay? Tap into your heart and let your emotions lead you, okay? And this is leading you guys to fall in love with life again, falling in love with yourself again. Anything else they need to know, Holy Spirit? So somebody definitely needs to research grounding exercises, because somebody's grounding or they think that they're grounding their energy, but they're not really grounding their energy. There's something that you're doing that you think is grounding you, but it's not. So that's specific for somebody. But definitely, ground your energy, y'all. Because when it builds up, that's what leads to crash outs. Somebody needs to close out a chapter and move forward. The divine is calling judgment. So you're on the final push. This is the final push, y'all. 3 of Swords came out in reverse. You're healing your broken heart. It's healing, okay? Because somebody had to do a lot of stuff that, was not very pleasant, but you're literally in the active stages of healing that. And you're processing your emotions. which is the best thing that you can do. And you guys just spend some time out in nature. That's a good way to ground yourself. And also looking at the bigger picture of things. That's also a good way to ground yourself. Because I'm thinking, like, it's not just about grounding yourself, you know, going outside, touching grass. And that is a good way to ground your energy. But what I'm talking about is the people that's like me, is the people that's like, when you in the thick of it, you in that moment and ain't no grass around. Okay? You feel me? Because me, I used to ground my energy by hitting somebody. I used to ground my energy by buying a bottle of tequila and drinking that whole bottle till I passed out. That was my grounding. And I stopped that. And I'm at a point now where I have not drank in a year. And I'm not even going to say, oh, I miss it. I really don't. Because I did not do it for pleasure. Like, it wasn't pleasurable for me. I drank to open up. I drank to feel more comfortable. I drank to not think so much. I drank to dull my intuition. I did it for the wrong things. Even with smoking. Like, I used to smoke to just escape. I used to smoke. And then it got to a point where I would smoke to open up more. So I could see clearer. Until I got to a point where I started to see clearer without it. And now I'm at a point where I don't do none of that. Like, literally, I have a new outlook on it, because when I do, it's literally to gather information. It's literally to, like, be more analytical with something, to see something, to, you know, yeah. And somebody has somebody around them that is not being very honest, but it's like you can't figure that out. Me personally, this is how I, like, got a lot of the snakes out of my circle. So it was some people that I was around, and I was like, I pretty much told them, like, you know, I have a hearing problem. I think I was in school. I was in cosmetology school, and so these girls, they were like, you know, it was real weird and catty, and like, I was really going through something. Like, the whole time I was in cosmetology school, I was literally homeless. Like, I was in a shelter, and I, you know, got kicked out the shelter because apparently they felt like I didn't need it enough. And it was real hard. Okay, I ended up staying with a classmate's best friend, and then there was something weird going on with that because they had cameras in there and they were watching me on the cameras. Very awkward. And then the girl had a crush on me or whatever, and then obviously I did not want, you know, I thought she was my friend, and then I had to leave, and it was a hard time. Okay, and either way, like, how I found out these people did not have my best interest before that happened, which is why I was prepared when all that stuff happened, is because I told them, yeah, I have hearing problems. I can't hear that well. Like, literally, and the shit people say when they think you can't hear is insane. Okay, and long story short, the reason why I ended up, you know, cutting off their friendship with this girl is because I'm on the phone with her, and she was purchasing, you know, illicit drugs. While I was on the phone with her, she was at work, and she was purchasing illicit drugs. So I don't judge people. Do what you want. You feel me? But at that point in my life, I couldn't just sit by and watch her do this to herself. One, because she was in school and she really needed it. You feel me? She needed it. And for two, she was breastfeeding her child. And I just had a huge issue with that, because it's like, you're wondering why your kid wants the milk so bad. It's because you're drugging your child. Your kid is addicted to the drugs that's in that, you know, milk or whatever. So she ended up pretty much getting upset with me because she didn't want to live in her truth, and I left that where it was at. You feel me? So I don't know if that story could be significant for somebody, but yeah. But somebody's definitely having a breakthrough, and this breakthrough is because you release some type of mental block, and you choosing to like face your fears. Like, you choosing to live in your truth, okay? Because people were working together to like make you feel a way. Like, people literally were working together to make you feel a way, and that's why you're feeling exhausted, or were feeling exhausted. Either way, like, somebody was really working hard to like be on some bullshit, bro. Like, they took pure action to try to fuck it up because they seen what you were healing. They seen that you were passionate about, letting go of all the bullshits, and they wanted you to have a lack of focus. And not gonna lie, they kinda did try to bring you down when it came to it. But you were honest throughout these trials. You feel me? You were you used direct communication, and you were very sure of yourself, okay? And that's what helped you to release like a lot of these anxieties and fears, because these people just had a messy ass type of energy. They just, these are the people that's not even comfortable with themselves. So it's like they were angry that you decided to set, boundaries with them. They were angry because you actually had integrity. They were angry, and now they're experiencing lack for the things they were doing, and you are just in your power. Honestly, like you're no longer giving to these people. Like you're no longer, because a lot of them did this shit in secret. They did it in secret, y'all. They did a lot of it in secret. Anything that comes to Holy Spirit, they did it in secret. And that's one thing I appreciate about the rain, because today it's raining over here, and it's such a cleansing energy, man. I don't really like being out in it, but not gonna lie, I love looking at it. I love hearing it. I love smelling it. Like, it's just cleansing, because it's cleansing, y'all. It's cleansing the earth. But yeah, somebody wanted you to have some emotional challenges, and they wanted you to have emotional challenges regarding some type of romantic connection. King of Pentacles went out on the floor, so somebody did cause a blockage in some type of connection that you had with the divine masculine. Either way, Three of Cups was right after that, so there is going to be time spent in good company, and that's because you are seeking, happiness at this time. You're seeking it, but there is like a lack of direction when it comes to it. But like, just step out of your comfort zone so you can gain better direction on, where you're going, because this leap of faith that you take is going to lead to your personal fulfillment, y'all. Yeah, and like somebody's having some type of identity crisis. They're self-destructing. The Tower card came out in reverse, so it's like they're kind of like they're self-destructing, and it's odd. It's odd how they're self-destructing. Clarify this. It's being illuminated though. It's being illuminated to you. Like it's leading, like it's clear. It's gonna be, if you don't see it clearly by now of who this is that's trying to cause these towers for you, it will be clear maybe by the end of this reading. I don't know. But we got the Hermit card and the Five of Cups. So maybe somebody's being called to focus on forgiveness and healing when it comes to a Virgo. Or you're focusing on forgiveness and healing in this soul searching, in this period of solitude that you're in right now, you guys. Yeah, so you definitely have a new beginning when it comes to something. Holy Spirit, a new beginning calls, because a new beginning for what? Yeah, your new beginning towards your healing. So it is a new beginning. You guys are having a new beginning. Yeah. Can't make it up. So you're being called to be in a, state of mental stillness at this time. Like when you feel yourself getting overwhelmed, you don't have to talk to anybody. Talk to yourself. Journal. Pray. Yeah, and this is going to help free you from these conflicts, you guys. Yeah, because cause and effect, you know what I'm saying? The things that you're doing now is gonna lead to progress for you guys in the future with this Page of Pentacles and this Hierophant. You following your own path is leading to these new beginnings and these financial opportunities to come to you. And this is literally your karma, like very honest type of energy. Be honest with yourself, okay? Be honest with yourself. You see how she's looking in the mirror? See yourself for who you are, and the things that you might not like about yourself, achieve a balance, okay? Because you're not going to like everything about yourself. Nobody's perfect, but what you're going to do is accept yourself for who you are. That's what you're going to do. This Emperor, I could be talking to an Aries, or you're just being called to maintain healthy boundaries, especially with yourself. Stop being mean to yourself. Yeah, Pay attention to the blessings around you. Pay attention to your own blessings, like within yourself, what makes you special, okay? Somebody needs to make a necessary ending to this energy of not being kind and compassionate to yourself. Somebody who is not that nice to themselves, and you need to be. Yeah, it's a divine feminine that is doing something, your horizons. So there's a divine feminine whose horizons are expanding, you guys. And with this moon card, you're being called to like continue to follow your intuition, okay? Because whoever you are, you're very magical at this time. You're manifesting your desires, and you're literally like, your horizons are expanding, okay? Your horizons are definitely expanding. And whoever it is, you're definitely in an independent type of energy. So there's like a Gemini in someone's energy that is unable to move forward, or there's some type of connection that maybe somebody's thinking about, can't stop thinking about, that, you know, they, I guess, trying to move forward from it or something. But this is a card of patience. So you're just being called to have patience when it comes to whatever situation, whether, it's a Gemini that is working on letting go of the past or whatever. Just, you know, be patient with yourself, okay? Not everybody just wakes up and be over something, you know, like, be patient with yourself. Yeah, like, be at peace with whatever decisions that you're making, okay? Or do your spiritual practices to manifest this peace in your life, and to be at peace with whatever decision you made, like, but somebody needs to listen deeply to themselves, and have willpower, because, you know, Ace of Wands is a yes or a no card. The answer is within you, pretty much. The answer is within you. Yeah, and that's what's going to lead to your wish fulfillment, you guys. But there's a conflict. There's some type of conflict. And you're being called to express yourself honestly. Express your emotions honestly with whatever conflict is happening. Alright? Because there is going to be a positive outcome to it. Yeah, there's not a Pentacles. You know, just be consistent with working on your self-love, okay? And that's what's going to lead to your generational wealth, okay? So, yeah, we got some harmonious relationships coming through, and your spirit guides are all for it, okay? You have a harmonious relationship with your spirit guides, okay? So keep dreaming big, okay? Keep dreaming big. Any closing messages from Holy Spirit? Keep dreaming big, because these people that was in your energy, that tried to lie, that tried to spread rumors, that tried to do, you know, this low vibrational shit to you, they're mad as hell now. Because the energy was returned to sender. And your strength is unmatched, okay? You will prevail, alright? All this bullshit that was sent your way or whatever, it was a reason for it all. And now I'm about to go watch the second Matrix movie. You know, I'll make a video after I finish that one too. If this resonated, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Continue to live and love and light. Bye.